Test number 68. Do Deindexed site still pass juice? Let's get into this one. Hey everyone, Clip Butler here from SIA, and thank you for joining me on behalf of the SIA team. I appreciate you. If you could, hit the subscribe button. You'll get all these videos as we publish them and get notifications, etc. And it only takes calorie to push the thumbs up or thumbs down button. So use those stupid things for us. We appreciate you. All right, so this test is pretty interesting, and it comes from the idea that, let's say you have a, I'm going to go a little bit dark here, but let's say you have a private blog network, and somehow you got caught and your blog network got de-indexed, but you don't have messages in the search console for those saying that they're penalized or anything. They're just de-indexed. Now, standard thinking would be that because they're de-indexed, Google doesn't like them, and ergo, if you have links from them, that won't count. That's standard thinking. Or you build a backlink on a site, and the page doesn't index, and then ergo, that page doesn't count. If it's not in the index, then it doesn't count. And so this test debunked that theory. So what we had was access to some old domains that used to be part of a private blog network, blatantly part of a private blog network, and the sites were de-indexed. There was no manual penalty in Search Console or anything. They were just no longer being shown in the index, and that's actually quite common these days, regardless if the site is good or bad. A domain or specific pages on domains will just be taken out of the index. We don't want it anymore. We don't need it. We have 100 to 600 pages that are better than this one. So thanks for coming, but we're not going to put it in the index. However, as you can see from the test results, that those still pass juice. They still are counted. They're still being acknowledged by Google as having the link there, still being counted as a vote, and using entirely de-indexed pages, de-indexed domains still resulted in a page one ranking, or in a position one ranking, page one ranking for the test site. So Google obviously knew that, or recrawled it, didn't index the page, but said, oh, there's a link there, and counted that irregardless if it was in the SERPs, being displayed in SERPs, or it was in the primary index at all. That's not to say that those sites are not in the secondary index, the one that we don't see. And Google has cataloged those and says, yep, that's a site, it's there, we're just not going to show it in the primary one. And that's entirely possible. So I would argue that you probably have to have a page in the index at least once, and that would definitely ensure that it's in the secondary index. But at a minimum, if you're creating backlinks, you just worry about getting Google to crawl it, put it in its catalog of pages that would be in the secondary index that has all of the sites around the world versus what's shown in the search results. And that is how you get credit for links. And I've been following that process forever. And there's a whole bunch of other people that, have either heard me, or maybe you saw this test, or heard someone else from SIA talk about this test after we did it. Because before that, no one was talking about it. No one was talking about, do de-index sites, do they count? But there has been consistent talk about, if your backlink is not in the search results, it's not on a good site, ergo, Google is filtering that out. While we debunk that here with the de-index PBNs test. Not only do we use de-index sites, we use de-index PBNs and still rank number one. So that is debunked as of the time of this test. It's certainly something that would probably have to be consistently checked over and over and over again. But I'm not sure that it would be something that we have to check on every update. This would probably be more like a biannual thing, just to make sure that it still applies. But my guess is it's not going to go away until Google is essentially using AI to answer all search queries. And then in so much as to say eliminating SEO altogether and just kind of formulating this system that says, hey, these are these sites that are near you for local business, or this is the answer for your thing, because now they've decided that their algorithm knows everything of all the world's knowledge, etc. And we don't need information websites anymore because Google will be able to provide that to you directly in their search results, that kind of stuff. But I don't see us getting to that level anytime soon. So with that, we'll keep testing this one, but it's still cool. It's still interesting to know, and it still kind of supports some other testing we've done, like Link Echo and etc., to show that if the page is in there and the link is there, and Google's still counting it and it's still being applied in the algorithm at this time. So I hope you like this one. If you have any questions on it, hit me up and leave a comment down below. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Only takes a calorie. See you in the next one.